Let's start with a trap that many organizations fall into. They collect loads of data and still learn almost nothing. Why? Because humans love easy answers. We tend to measure what's convenient, not what's meaningful. This is something called the streetlight effect. You look for your keys where the light is best, not where you drop them. In stakeholder-centric digital marketing, data only becomes powerful when it is linked to smart objectives and translated into key performance indicators, KPIs, that actively reflect stakeholder value. So, what does good data use look like? First, we need to talk about privacy and trust. In digital marketing, you can't just collect everything you want. Regulations and platform changes shape what's possible. For example, Apple's iOS changes reduce the ability of platforms to track individuals, forcing organizations to rely more on aggregate insights instead of precise user-level tracking. That's not just a technical issue, it's a reminder that stakeholder trust matters. So, before you even think about KPIs, you must ask 3 core data questions, often described as the CIA triad. Confidentiality. Is stakeholder data protected and stored safely? Integrity. Is the data accurate, clean, and reliable? Availability. Can the right people access the right data when they need it? If you fail here, the consequences can be massive, financially and reputationally. Now let's get practical. Digital analytics tools can measure how stakeholders interact with your content. Page views, unique visitors, conversion rates, traffic sources, device types, and geography. But here is the rule. Choose tools and definitions before you start. Different tools can label metrics differently, and confusion kills learning. Next, understand the different types of data you can use. Zero-party data, what a stakeholder voluntarily tells you. Preferences, intention, subscriptions. First-party data, what you collect directly through your channels. Website analytics, purchase history, email engagements, loyalty data. Second-party data, someone else's first-party data shared via partnerships. Same as third-party data, but collected by another organization and not the first-party organization. Third-party data, aggregated market data from platforms or research providers. For example, market research reports and industry analysis conducted by organizations that specialize in data collected and analysis. Here is the key idea for stakeholder centricity. First-party data is your most valuable long-term asset. It's richer, more accurate, and based on actual relationships. That's why loyalty apps and subscriptions are so powerful. Brands like Pret, McDonald's, and Amazon Prime exchange value, discounts, convenience, exclusive benefits for a continuous stream of insights. Now, how do we connect data to stakeholder centricity? Use the persona journey. At each stage, data helps you ask better questions. Stimulus, how many people were exposed? Metrics, research, impressions, CPM. ZMod, how many actively researched us? Metrics, brand research, organic and paid traffic, CTR, engagement rate, leads. First moment of truth, did they convert? Metrics, conversion rate, sales, CPA, revenue, order volume. Second moment of truth, did we create satisfaction and advocacy? Metrics, CSAT, reviews, repeat purchase, subscriptions, NPS, sentiment, lifetime value. But be careful, not all metrics are equal. Avoid vanity metrics, numbers that look impressive but don't drive decisions. A classic example is social media follower count. A better measure is engagement rate or meaningful comments. And remember Charles Goodhart's law. When the measure becomes the target, it stops being a good measure. If you optimize the wrong KPI, you can damage the stakeholder experience while still hitting numbers. So the goal isn't more data, it's better questions. Because stakeholder centricity is not what you claim. It's what your data reveals about how people experience your value and what you do next to improve it.